Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. The Supreme Court ruled today that affirmative action can't be used as admissions into universities. I'm sure it's a much more nuanced statement than that, but if you want the real basic take-home point on that, that's what it is. And I want to throw on that, but it's disappointing to hear. But I'm wondering also if this gives an opportunity to come up with a different way to allow for the marginalized people in our community the opportunity to get into higher learning facilities or institutions that they normally wouldn't. Before, I guess, you really could. If you were black, you were a second-class citizen. You were treated like crap and laws were written against you, and so it was really easy to make that correlation. But maybe that's not currently the best way or the most enlightened way to do it. Is there a different way? Can you look at socioeconomic impacts on somebody as well, as opposed to just their ethnicity or their race? Does a black person who grows up in an extremely wealthy area whose parents are doctors or something like that, and lawyers, are they in the same boat as a black person who's growing up in the inner city? I'd probably argue they're not. Does the doctor and lawyer's son need extra help to get into a major university? Probably not. So, as much as it's disappointing to see marginalized groups be further marginalized, maybe it's an opportunity to see putting together something that works better than what we currently have. Maybe this worked well before in the past. Maybe we can come up with something better in the future. So, current state of affirmative action. What's the energy that we have involving it? Okay, so there's good and bad with it, and it depends on the person observing affirmative action. If you're somebody who benefits from affirmative action, you see all the benefits of it. If you're somebody who does not benefit from affirmative action, you see all the pitfalls and shortcomings. So there isn't a universal thought on it. There's no consensus or bipartisan support for the best way to do it as it was currently set up. And now it's been taken down, so now you have the ability to do something different. We're crossing that with money. Now, I assure you, big money brought this down. Wealthy people, elites brought this down because it keeps them at the top and it keeps marginalized people at the bottom. Because an educated person who's marginalized is a huge threat to people on the top. So that's kind of what's fighting on it. Big money was fighting against a system that wasn't ideally set up or is not currently ideal for today's society. In the past, we have the Eight of Swords. Affirmative action was passed and it was helpful, but there was resentment that they were stuck with maybe a really rigid system, and people wanted to be unstuck from that rigid system. Current situation is the world. Okay, so that brings affirmative action to a conclusion. Now, if affirmative action was successful, we wouldn't need to renew it because everything would be equal. I think we can all agree, George Floyd, that we aren't even remotely close to this. Good people on both sides. We're not even close. So it might be that we need to take a bigger picture, a bigger worldview of affirmative action. Not just local in the U.S., but a worldwide view. If you can get the whole world on board with this, then this card, the Seven of Cups, goes away because it's a universal program. But I think also at the same time, it's a universal problem where the wealthy have all the advantages and the marginalized are stuck in their situation. Overarching energy, 9 of coins. We do like our lifestyles, don't we? We like our things and we don't want to give up our things because we're comfortable. People that have benefited from affirmative action should champion affirmative action because if they benefited from it, their lifestyle got better and they should want the next person to have a better lifestyle too. Where you run into problems, Ketanji, I didn't read what Ketanji Brown and Justice Thomas were sniping at each other about, but I can imagine, is when you run into the issue where somebody takes advantage of affirmative action and then pulls up the ladder behind him and closes the door. I got mine, screw you people. You'll sometimes hear about migrants or immigrants coming over from the southern border, and you'll see that a huge population of Hispanics don't want them over there, don't want these people coming in. It's part of it that they don't talk about is that these people that don't want the migrants coming in, these people are snobs, and these migrants are peasants, and they don't want peasants in their country. So basically, they came in, take advantage of it, and then they pull up the ladder behind them and close the door so nobody else can come in. That's one of the things you have to worry about with this. The lesson to be learned is the King of Cups. We can be really angry and upset by this, but it's time to contemplate and step back and come up with a new plan. And the outcome of the current situation, it's tearing down this institution that's been built up. And it's happening. It's going to happen quickly. So it's going to be a huge burden. This is going to be very difficult on families, especially, I was thinking about this today, for folks that are already in the university, that's one thing, but can you imagine if you had a child who was gifted and you're not, really well off, who's maybe a sophomore or a junior, and they had the chops to get into Yale or Harvard or Columbia or some other Ivy League school, and they would be able to get into affirmative action. And now that this has been taken away, that protected avenue has been eroded. That doesn't mean the universities can't try and keep a diverse campus population, but they can't fall back on that government program or that government policy to do that, or whatever the legal requirements are. They can't fall back on that to do that. So now you're going to have a lot of pressure for them to get rid of it. Because, white privilege and white entitlement is a thing. Okay, so Phoenix from the ashes. What's going to be the phoenix from the ashes on this? What can be created? What can be manifested? Man, I hope we get the magician card. That would be amazing. What can be created? What can be manifested from this? What can be put in place? Describe what can be done to make things better. And we got the hangman, or the hangman just sort of popped up over there. It's looking at things differently. That's the first step. Kind of what I was talking earlier. You have an opportunity now that the tower moment has come and you're knocking down all the institutions. You now have an opportunity to build up something better. Let's take advantage of it. I guess this is the silver lining on things, right? Okay, so what do we want to do? Page of Pentacles. Okay, new ideas. Talk with young people. Come up with new ideas and a new way of doing things. You've got the opportunity now. You pretty much don't have a choice. You can either quit or come up with new ideas. Coming up with new ideas seems to be the way to go. You're crossed with the Five of Pentacles. You're crossed, though, with people being left out in the cold. So you got to come up with a new idea that allows people left out of society, either, again, this could be socioeconomic. These are not wealthy people. These are poor people. These are people that have been sick. These are people that, for whatever reason, haven't been able to experience the American dream. And they've been left out of the American dream. Come up with a new way to help these people out. People truly in need are the ones that need the help. Okay, so in the past, it's that victory. The victory was the original affirmative action. It helped a lot of people. It helped to try and level the playing field for marginalized communities, but that is done. That's in the past. So now you have a new job, a new role, a new fate, a new way of doing things. You've got an opportunity that you couldn't have done before because you wouldn't have been able to get through the institution that was in place. This is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. This is really where you want to engage your AOCs, your Katie Porters, probably Bernie Sanders and such. Get get the progressives involved in this. Have them come up with what they think is a better way to address this issue. You've got an opportunity, take it, and you'll probably have a lot of support from young people in the process. The overarching energy is the Six of Swords. We're going to a different shore now. You've got to move away. You can't go back. What's happened has happened. You can't undo it. Go to the shore. Go for something better. Migrate. Go explore. Look for something better. What you had before wasn't working. We don't know what it is yet, but you won't know until you go looking. This is basically like, this is the discovery. This is the adventure. You're going to blaze a trail to a promised land, an unexplored land, like when pilgrims or such went to the United States, to America, or went sailing west and hoped to hit land. Maybe they thought they were going to hit India and they didn't. They hit North America instead. This is going to be that new frontier that can be explored. Some things might work, some things may not, but you don't know until you try looking. And when you go looking, you find something, and you find something better, and you unveil whatever it is that you're looking for. And what you have was better than what you had before. What you thought you had before was good, but what you come up with new is even better. And when you've got that idea, go forward with it. Don't let people stop you. Keep pushing away, keep pushing and driving. It's a just cause. It is absolutely a just cause. And when you have a just cause, you will come out ahead at the end of the day. Yeah, there's going to be people who fight you. There's going to be people who put up roadblocks, and they're going to resist the whole way. Just keep pushing. Keep people motivated. Get some new ideas out there. And some people are going to hit on some fabulous ideas. So, yeah, this is a setback. This is the 2 steps backwards and maybe tumbling down the hill a little bit. But you get yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you go at it again. And maybe that path wasn't going to take you to the top of the mountain anymore, but now you're going to have to find a new path. And if you find a good new path, you're golden. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for your kind comments and all the good stuff that comes with that. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next video. Take care.